Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of the Dota 2 Championship League. I'm your host for your English live stream, TobiWan, coming to you from my studio here in Berlin, streaming out a game, well, where the Germans are actually playing. It is Mousesports. Oh, actually, I can't say that anymore, can I? Because the Mousesports team, while the organization might be owned by Germany, it is, in fact, an all-Danish roster going up against the Americans team Liquid. So let's get ourselves back over inside the game, because it is drafting time, and my co-caster most definitely isn't from Germany. He is, in fact, Canadian. It is Clairvoyance. Welcome back, man.
Hey, Toby, how you doing? Old buddy, old pal.
Oh, buddy, oh. Hey, wait, what is that from? That's from something.
You know, see, I know what it is.
I'm thinking Yogi Bear.
Yogi Bear, what's that?
It's either Yogi Bear or it's Flintstones.
Flintstones, what's that?
Reserve time.
Don't make me feel
Never heard
old.
of it. Hmm?
You know Yogi Bear. Everybody knows Yogi Bear.
I don't know Yogi Bear, man. What's a Flintstone? Never heard of those ancient caveman terms before you. You out of your mind, Toby.
Are you actually trolling me, or do you legitimately not know what these two things are?
Toby, have you ever seen my Steam ID? It says, I am not a troll. Don't ever ask me that question again, please. I thought better of you as a man, figured after all the things we've been through that you would know by now. Oh, I expect nothing and I'm still disappointed, you know what I'm saying? Oh, man.
Right. Okay. Fantastic.
Wow. Toby, Liquid's being really, really, I gotta say, man, they're sticking to the guns with this, man. Picking up the lone druid again. A bold move once again, but Mousesports doing something similar, picking up the Chen from last game, which I don't want to say it didn't have that much successes. I really feel like some of the saves and the plays that the Chen did with the stuns in the fight, as well as casting the heals. I mean, that's pretty much most of what Chen is expected to do. But I thought it was enough for the game. It's just the push didn't come in early enough.
You got to remember probably, and this is what I'm going to take from the first game with the Chen. The Chen was great in the mid game. But by that point, the lone druid was out of control.
Oh dear.
Okay,
they're doing it again.
Down the same lines. Yeah, so lone druid was already out of control by that point. The only other way to stop lone druid from doing what he did was to go up and gank him. And when they did that, he'd already had his Midas, and he was at his relic gold anyway. Obviously, he didn't buy it, he had a little bit longer to wait for it, but the ganks came up too late. And that's something with the Chen where it takes a little bit longer before Chen gets that kind of momentum behind him. And then you've also got Bane, who needed level 6 before he could really go ganking on a lone druid. And even by that point, you get first hit entangled, and the gank goes out the window. There was just no level of aggression coming out. And the Doombringer, he was focused on farming and pushing. So if Mousesports want to do this, I'm kind of okay with it. Because I don't see them being able to gank up the lone druid, but I can see them if they go for a pushing lineup, get that guy that was banned out in game number 1, and pick him up here in the second phase, grab that Pugner, and force down the towers with the Doom auras, with the Chen auras, that forces the lone druid to come in and fight, and that is something which he doesn't want to do if he's trying to go for a Midas rush.
Exactly,
a Radiance rush.
The exact same thought resonates in my head right now. I mean, what can I say? You either counter up the lone druid, a really, really strong mid-game carry by just killing him up, or you injure the other parts of the map and sever the joints, sever the connections so badly that the rest of the team just cannot function, and it'll literally become 2v5, and I say 2 because it's going to be lone druid and his bear against the world. And unfortunately, that's not an easy task for a lone druid if everybody on the opposition is farmed. You got a Chen coming in with levels and 2 tower kills on his back. You got a Doom with an extra tower kill somewhere along the way and being able to push into the tower because he has so many levels in Scorched Earth and he's really tanky and hard to kill in some senses. And then all of a sudden you got a hero like Timbersaw, who arguably one of the hardest counter to Timbersaw is Doom. I mean, Doom is the counter to many, many things, if not everything. But Timbersaw especially because he's a strength hero who relies on solely his spells and nothing else. Then yeah, I gotta say, man, Mousesports, I feel like I'm really feeling their lineup right now. I'm really digging it, but from the execution of last game, honestly, it just felt like there was a lack of initiative and a lack of game plan.
Yeah.
That's what I really felt it came down to, because as well as Unicorn did at the top lane, as decently as Cinderin farmed at the mid lane, he was able to get the Force Staff and followed up with a Blink Dagger. To be completely frank, I'm not sure why the Blink Dagger. I don't think it did anything for him. But followed up with another item is the point. And then they had the Doombringer rushing one of the big armor tank items, which would allow the Doom to stand in the front lines, disable somebody up, and follow it up with the rest of the team's damage. And Mousesports, I'm wondering right now if they're going to pick up the Bane again and pretty much replicate their exact same previous lineup and try to go for round 2.
The previous lineup didn't work.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, the Doombringer's going to get destroyed up by the Lone Drill. We saw it in the last game. The only difference is you don't have the Visage with his familiars and his burst damage. But that doesn't matter because you've got Veno's level of control. And I don't know if you saw the games which was happening with Dignitas going up against Speed. Actually, I know you did. You watch every Speed game like it's like
what
it's
are you talking about?
Like it's a religion.
I'll be completely honest with you. I actually didn't watch that.
Blasphemy! Blasphemy!
Toby,
Shame.
Toby. Even as an avid worshipper of EE Sama himself, sometimes you need a break. You know, you need a break.
Well, I'm going to point out Winter's Venomancer was perfect up against Speed. Because you throw out, like, I think so many people, and remember we had this conversation. We had this conversation when we were casting the D2CL just after the patch came out, and we were sitting there, and I was going, man, Venomancer, he's the new thing. He's the new best support hero. Crystal Maiden became the best one. But I was like, Venomancer, he's meant to be it. I think Harney said SK. Talking about Skeleton King. Draskell was saying Dazzle. And I was sitting there going, Venomancer will be the #1. His ulti just coats so many people. It's already powerful enough, but then you had the Venomancer awards with the Poison Sting on top of that.
Oh man, that is the worst, seriously.
He is so damn powerful. And the nerf to his level 1, it's almost negligible now. Because if you're going to use him in a lane, you're not going to be looking for the damage output from him. You look for the slow anyway. You look for the 50% slow. And later on, you'll get his level 2 up in that. So I kind of almost like the Korean version of playing him where they went Poison Sting first and Venomancer Ward next. And then the next 2 were actually going into the Gale.
10 seconds remaining.
It was
Interesting.
It was funky, but it actually worked very, very nicely as far as harassment and lane control goes. But now you got a Venomancer and a Rubik. So you get a slow, you get a pickup controller, and this is all going to be something going around when a Timbersaw is going to want to jump around and start killing people, or you get something like a Mirana as the last pickup here from TC, could happen again. And then you got telekinesis into Arrow, and then you got a slow as well on a hero like Doombringer who has no escape mechanisms. I'm just feeling Liquid's ability again to control up every single lane. Invoker up against a Timbersaw. You use the Forged Spirits, the 4-cost 4 Exort build. You get 2 Forged Spirits up and running. They remove Timbersaw's damage, but at the same time they give him reactive armor charges. So it's you're not going to win on the lane of Timbersaw up against Invoker. And then you get now a Bounty Hunter up on the field too. Burst damage. It's going to be good up against a Timbersaw, but if Lone Druid gets an Entangle, Bounty is screwed. And if Track gets stolen by Rubik, Bounty is screwed. If Doom gets stolen by Rubik, Bounty is screwed.
Well, see, that's kind of what I feel as well with regards to the laning phase. Exclusively speaking, Liquid's got a very, very strong set of laning phase ahead of them. With the Lone Druid on the safe lane once again, more likely than not. And the Timbersaw, as you said, going mid against the Invoker, that's not going to be a fun matchup for Invoker. If it's not the base damage, it's just a lack of potential harassment coming out against a hero like Timbersaw, who is extremely, extremely durable to harassment. Then yeah, it's the Venomancer Gale being really good at shutting down Bounty Hunter and the roaming potential of Venomancer as well as Rubik together. So a lot of things going in favor for Liquid with regards to the laning phase. However, if Mousesports are able to survive that, I feel like they're actually just going to snowball out of control with their heroes. If you ever, like, this Bounty Hunter Chen Doom combination is so powerful, and Dragon Knight is actually one of the best heroes against that. A mid-game carry who can actually sit there and tank the damage and still dish out more with just the BKB. Perfect answer, perfect response to Mousesports. I was actually thinking more along the lines of Queen of Pain or Gyrocopter, but those heroes can get pretty hard countered by the Doom, whereas the DK, you pop the ultimate, instant cast. No matter what, whether you get doomed or not, you've done your job. So the Bane will be the last pickup, and yeah, Toby, I recognize a lot of these heroes in this draft from the last game.
Yeah, have we been here before?
Oh, you know, as I was saying before, this reminds me a lot of TI2. And TI1 and before TI.
You're such a dick.
Dota 1. You know, this reminds me a lot of Dota. You know what I'm saying? Reminds me a lot of myself. That's how I do, right?
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. All right. All right. So we're going to run the same startup as we did last time. So farm be the goal of both these sides in the very early stages. I kind of hope Liquid get a little bit more aggressive with both Fluff as well as Way2, because they're not running a jungler in this game. So they're the guys that can start killing, and I'm almost hoping that's the lanes it looks to be. It will be. It'll be Kuiper going solo bottom lane as this lone druid. See how he also brings down 2 sentries? He's preparing for the off-lane bounty hunter. Funnily enough, though, Mousesports are doing the flip of that. They're running the bounty hunter up on the top lane, which works for Liquid still. They don't have the sentry wards up on this top lane, sure, but at the same time, you get a telekinesis pickup, you get a Gale out, you might get yourself a Whirling Death. You're going to zone the bounty out so he gets no farm whatsoever. And then the bottom lane, you know what Bears can do. Lone Druid would just pull the creep wave down here in the bottom lane. So I'm feeling the -1 again today. I was the same this morning. I don't know why. But I'm feeling like Liquid have kind of got this draft in the bag right now.
You know, what would have changed my opinion on that is if Mousesports actually decided to keep the bounty hunter at bottom and use him as bait and keep the Chen in the enemy jungle. Anytime you have a jungler that can take jungle creeps, whether it be an Enchantress or a Chen, from the enemy jungle, you threaten both the mid laner on the opposition as well as the safe lane. And one of the reasons why Alliance actually doesn't pick Lone Druid, according to their exact quote, it was that because Lone Druid can get so easily countered by early level gank where he just loses his bear on the safe lane. It's not like losing your bear in the off lane. If you lose your bear in the off lane, you kind of just have to wait it out because it's your lane and you're expected to do so. But on the safe lane, Lone Druid has to snowball, he has to carry. He's given the space with the safe lane position. And unfortunately, the scenario is that if you die too early and you lose your bear, you're not going to win the matchup. So I really feel like the bounty hunter being used as bait and Chen in the enemy jungle would have helped. But as it stands right now, Link is walking into a trap with a clarity that's disabled on him.
Uh-oh. Pick up, throw him back, fluff and stuff with the Gale. And this is what we talk about with no way to get away from this one. And the Bear's even going to body block him up. He brought the dire creep wave with him, but right now it's just a body block. Link's going to go down this bottom lane before he even gets near the creep wave. First blood gets spilled. The Bear pool's going to work. Kuiper's going to get experience in the bottom lane. And TC also got the creep block advantage in the mid. I don't know if you saw that, but he had the high ground advantage. He's kind of lost it down
Toby,
a bit,
just
though.
imagine if that was a bounty hunter, man. How unfortunate. I think Mousesports they had the right idea, but I think they got a little bit too greedy with it. Oh man, if that was a bounty hunter, this Doom could have been just jungling right now with the Chen and then go to the safe lane with a creep. Man, that is really unfortunate.
So you're feeling the jungle Doom. I'm feeling just uncomfortable.
Yeah, well see well see the reason I say jungle Doom is because Doom, like Furion, if you have nowhere else to go, you can actually go to the jungle. Not many heroes can do that. Bounty Hunter can't do that. Bounty Hunter gets zoned out by a Timbersaw so hard it's not even funny. Timbersaw versus a melee hero in general, it's not funny.
That's why Liquid switched the lanes up. It's they knew that like Timbersaw up against the Invoker, maybe not so great. TC had a better chance. Because that breathe fire and just moving around with a bottle, it's enough. He knows he can zone Cinder and out. No amount of points up in Quas are going to save you from the burst damage of a DK if he's able to get a good stun off and there's even like a slight rotation in. You got a Venomancer as well as a Rubik. This is what I was talking about in the last game, which I was expecting out from Mousesports. By the way, Bulba almost just killed a Unicorn on this top lane with a level 1 Whirling Death. Where Link is now up on the top lane too, so it's really getting crowded up there. But this is what I was asking for from Mousesports. They have something like a Venomancer and Rubik that can move around, that can gank up a Lone Druid and stop him from farming. The only other option was pushing, and that option hasn't been realized.
Yeah. And finally, they've decided to finally rotate the Bounty Hunter to the lane. Of course, they have to use a TP scroll as well as a whole bunch of regen out of him. So he's sitting here with 2 Tangles versus a Kuiper, who's got level 4 already and has the option of buying the Orb of Venom anytime he pleases. This is just it just didn't go for them
Do you see the ultimate irony of the switch up that's just happened? The way too sexy stays on the bottom lane. Venomancer went towards the top. Invoker just DD Rune probably helped him out a lot. But the Sentry Wards ended up on the Venomancer up on the top lane when Bounty Hunter rotates out towards the bottom lane. I'm pretty sure that's why Fluff came up there. not just to zone him out, but it was to push the bounty, and it ganked the bounty with Invis detection.
Yeah. So a nice dodge by Mousesports, but once again, the bounty is sitting at 2 tangles, and he's got 60 mana left. At best, if he regens, he's going to be able to use 2 more Shadow Walks. And unfortunately, right now, with this lane, the fact that you can't pressure the lone druid at all is just a scary thought. The whole point of early rotations coming out of heroes like Chen and Bane was so that you can do these kind of things, but instead, everybody's left to farming their own on their own devices, except Liquid's already got an advantage on that front. So this is just not a good start for Mousesports, simply put. And if they want to recuperate, they better have something cooked up, because Nighttime's just hitting. There's an illusion rune available for TC very soon when his bottle rotates in. That's going to be his full mana and Dragon Form, but as I say, that Fluff decides to take it and just pressure the jungle or something.
You could never have enough Venomancers, you know.
That's true, that's true.
He's Mr. Vision. And he knows he sends up a fake one to the top lane and pulls the two of himself down and towards the middle lane. Drops an Observe Ward and waits for Syndra to move out of position. Kuiper's actually getting ganked up on the bottom lane. I'm hearing stuns from DK over on Syndra though, so we have to choose middle lane. And Syndra, Ice Wall goes up, but he should go down this one. Back down to Kuiper, moving around the tree line, going up, going down. Janata attack this bear, trying to at least get one hit out, but it cannot do so. So the lone druid takes a fall, and we get a 1-for-1 trade, but that's now the second death for Syndra.
And that's just one of the reasons, once again, why Bear kind of has fallen out of favor. It's just so easy to gank him. He really is just a sitting duck depending on the scenario. And of course, when he has levels, he's scary because he can kill you with entangles. But aside from that, it's just hard to play a safe lane solo with this kind of style. It is greedy, to put it simply. And especially with the lanes pushing out these days, it's a lot more difficult than before. So sentries have finally rotated in for Kuiper, but he has gotten the boots and tried to rush the Midas, so he doesn't have Orb of Venom, which means that this Unicorn, who has rotated back in from a TP and is about to do so again with level 6 this time, so he has track now, is going to do a lot better than before.
Well, you're Kuiper. Unicorn carry this momentum? Looks like they're going to try and do something. Crit smoked up. Could just be so they can run themselves down towards the bottom lane a little bit faster. Rise, Seabag ganking up the top lane, but he can't find himself a second creep. The camp is currently empty, so we can't gank up against Bulba on this top lane. And where are they going to smoke to?
No.
The line has come to
mid.
Don't
like that. I wish they just kept going straight for the bear.
Oh, way too. They got him.
Oh, they're going to way too.
Nightmare, track is up, get on the other side. Way too however, gets a pickup and throws him onto the opposite cliff. It's such a long way around, and there's no Nightmare, so Way too's out of here. He's home and hosed. Beautiful play. Shuri Toss couldn't get in range in time.
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking the Shuri Toss would have broken the Nightmare, but instead they let Crit use more spells, and unfortunately he didn't have any mana. Of course, the Nightmare was still on cooldown, so very nice play by Way2, I gotta say. A good escape.
Middle lane.
But DC now in danger.
Yep. Cold War goes down and slows him up, as well as the Cold Snap goes in Dragon Form, pops the 1 charges, the Gale from Fluff and stuff. To give that extra, movement speed bonus, you can say, towards them. But then again, they got the track already up on the DK. So if DK wanted to pursue this any further, they would have mass movement speed. I love how, too, the creep wave runs in range of the tower because they've all got track and bonus. They actually move really fast with track bonus.
Yeah, they do, man. Just, like, if you've seen a Doombringer and, like, some of these melee heroes that get extra speed in one way or another, like heroes like Axe, Doom, and stuff like that in the team fight with track, it's just... Bounty Hunter definitely is one of the best heroes in this patch as a whole. It really is, and there's no other way to put it. It's not exactly. I don't want to say
from the other side where you can control the lane even more if your enemy creeps are moving on track, because they are always up on the hill.
Hey, I'd give you a couple creeps just to get vision on you for sure, any day. And the potential of extra gold, of course. But now TC going into Cinderin looks like this is a harassment attempt, but it could turn into a kill if anything happens, and nope. Nothing really happens.
I'm watching Rise on this top instead. Gal comes out by Fluff and stuff. However, with a Chakram behind from Bulba, this now means Rise is in trouble. He can Timidate himself up through Rise. The Feybolt comes in as well from Way Too Sexy. Kills securing. And it's a little bit too late for Link to rotate over. He might have level 6, but it's a little bit too far away.
Oh man, I'm sorry to harp on this, but I just can't put it to words how different this game would have been if they just kept going straight down to bottom lane and killed the bear. they killed the bear the second time, it would have just completely changed this game entirely. Like this game would not be 4-1 Liquid right now. It would be like 4-1 for Mouz, and their Doombringer would be free farming on the safe lane still because heroes are rotating out just to keep the bear safe. It's just amazing how one move at a forked road from saying let's go path A instead of path B. Oh my goodness, it would have changed the entire game. But right now, as you can see, Koipa's got his Midas up. He's farming the jungle freely with no contest because Crit is showing himself on the map as a level 5 Bane. He knows, man. The Bounty Hunter right now, he can't solo kill the Lone Druid. There's nothing that can solo kill the Lone Druid right now. So Koipa, about to begin the time of his life once again. Round 2 in this matchup.
Crit's gotta be really, really, really careful. Like, so really careful he doesn't get... Well, even if there's like a fake like a half entangle, he'll have to use Brain Set to get his life points back again. And with Way Too Sexy just around the corner, as he said, yes, it's round 2 as Unicorn comes down. Maybe he can find an opening. They do find Way Too. Ping comes out for it. Koitfa, he got an entangle on Crit. Crit's too far away, he can't attack. There's that Brain Set going to work. Sunstrike came in from the Invoker as well, but control wasn't enough.
And in the meanwhile, at the mid tower, TC is going away on it with the Dragon Forms, taking out very fast with the Corrosive Breath.
Love stuff was trying to solo Link. He's running away. If he gets down this ramp and gets the ward block off, Link is moving very quickly, and they use the Doom to get the kill on Flufferstuff. Middle lane, Cinderin, Sharkram through him, and the Cold Snap. Well, Flufferstuff is moving himself around the Ogres, and Doom was waiting for the hit. One last hit when he was in range that he would have enough damage to pick him off properly.
Toby, who's soloing who again? As soon as I turned my screen over, it seemed like it was going the other way around. Looks like Fluff was getting chased down by the dude.
The way Fluff was doing it, if you look up to where Doombringer is right now on the top lane, there was basically Plague Wards here and here, where the Venomans are a little bit further down about here attacking. And it just kept hitting on top of Link. I only checked it because I saw what looked to be almost burst damage coming out on the top lane. It's because the wards were focusing Link and then applying the poison sting to him. So the poison sting was having its effect on Link and just dropping him down while the wards were attacking too. So it kept the continuous harassment on that was actually causing Venomancer to win the lane.
Yeah. So see, Toby, you know what we call that in North America is it's called supports making space. That's making space right there. Fluff was making space and playing a little bit cocky, which I like, of course. You gotta play cocky. But ended up paying for it. But you know, space made, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, space was made until he died. Yeah.
Oh no, even when he died, space is made because he's actually chasing the target. And of course, TC is trying to make space as well, but unfortunately, Link gets right out in range. And TC, speaking of him, 11 minutes into the game, he completely crushed his lane. Yep. He's about to get a second tower to his name. He's gonna have a really fast Shadow Blade with his Treads. And you know what that means? With a Dragon Knight and early Shadow Blade, he's gonna go ganking up many targets with a Timbersaw.
Have himself a great old time. While Koitva still having his great time. Bottom lane, you might have died once, but he's got 73 for 13. Again, he leads the CS counter. Again, he's able to get that hand of Midas up and running. And again, I'm looking at about 2,700 gold up on him. Approaching a relic at a good time.
Yeah, we're looking at a very similar timing from last game. Similarly to last game as well, how he died once. So
Fluff's
last game was like 17.
Fluff should be in trouble here. Crit's moving up in range of the tower. Visible, Fluff runs up to the DK. Leaves a ward behind him. And trouble is now over.
The Venomancer wards. Look at what these wards do at nighttime. You can just place them all over the map, and it's just the most annoying thing. I actually can't believe Poison Sting is applied with these wards. It's the worst thing ever. Like, you know, you've spent like 1,500 gold buying this thing called Boots, and all of a sudden Venomancer casts this 20 mana spell, and you don't have Boots anymore while you're walking around in the river, like just walking. You're walking out of your base and you get hit by a ward at some point, and then you don't have Boots anymore. It's like the old Triangle Boots when it breaks on you. You're just sitting there really sad because it's like you don't have Boots. It's the worst, man. I'm telling you. I hate playing against Venomancer right now. I played against the Venomancer and Warlock one time. That was not fun.
Look at what Fluff's doing as well. He's going to be farming the Ancients from down on the low ground. So these
this is not gonna succeed. Is this viable?
Yeah, this is viable.
This is definitely not viable, man. Oh,
it's
come
viable.
on.
Anything is viable with Venomancer
man,
wards.
this is not viable. Come on.
Yeah.
Look at what it's doing. His wards are dying faster than
No, it's viable because when this thing comes in, I think he should be able to attack it from that low ground, can't he? Is it just too far away?
No, if he attacks, he's gonna draw the aggro of the creeps themselves. So.
But he's already doing that. These creeps try. Oh, because yeah, the creeps.
No, yeah,
try
they're
to
not gonna go on the wards anymore, right? Well, not like the wards are doing anything anyway.
And well, they are because they just spotted the bounty hunter out. He threw a ward up on his own high ground, and now TC just like sweet. Shadowblade running on the bottom. He's coming down for crit. Dragon Tail stunning, attacks first and then stuns. Breathe fire. Crit's already dead. And remember, they've got the invis detection. Telekinesis pick up. Where's your entangle? He got it. Permanent detection on Unicorn, and TC gets himself a double kill on this bottom lane. And this will allow Koipa to push into the tier 2 tower now.
Yeah, Koipa, of course, who has his relic already, and is about to finish a 15-minute Radiance, faster than last game, considering all the space that he was given at the bottom lane after the Midas. And you know, that's not even mentioning of TC. I haven't been mentioning him that much, but as said before, he really did crush his lane. And right now, he's going on to pretty much crush the game. Looking at his items, he's also 4-0.
Oh, crit! No!
Crit.
No!
He is so dead right now.
The Gale hit through the tree line, and then Crit just gets picked up, thrown down. There's no one else there to help him. Now Unicorn walks up. The Sunstrike came down. He took the bear. He's not going to die, though. But he gives away 2-level Shuritas.
That was a viable play right there, Toby. I approve of that. That was very nice. Picking up the extra gold for himself. Everywhere they can get something right now, they have to. Because similar to last game, they're losing towers around the map, and just map control for them as a whole is dwindling. It's gone. It's pretty much non-existent. Even if they have wards decently poised, like when we have one at the Radiant Jungle just to see the outlooks of it, like where they're coming out from. But Liquid's not spending any time on their side of the map right now, maybe barring Koipa. They're always on the prowl, always on the hunt at this point. Fluff and Stuff is even farming the enemy Ancients with Venomancer. This, you know how not supposed to be able to do this kind of thing this is? Like, you're not supposed to be able to do this. Like, you're not allowed to do this. Like,
Middle lane
should not be allowed.
Doombringer's about to pick off a Rubik, but TC gets already a Dragon Tail stun out in the other support. Timber Chain up, and now they see Rise. Sharkram to go through most of Rise's jungle creeps, and the Centaur Stomp missed. However, Bulba, Cole snapped up, Chen nuked down. I think he even got penetrated. No, there's no level up in that. But he was destroyed pretty damn quickly, and that was only just after he picked up his Bloodstone. Like, he just picked up that Bloodstone. He's down to 6 charges now.
Oh, I always love Bloodstones getting picked up and then losing charges, you know.
Yeah, because you hate Bloodstone.
No, I love Bloodstone. I like it. I always think it's really funny when they have 0 charges.
TC's going to move quickly. That Sharkram didn't manage to slow down Link.
He's got the ultimate. He can go for it.
Yeah. And then with the splash damage too, they're going to pick up almost all of Rise's creeps. As well as Rise himself. They see Cinderin down there. Sharkram, Dragon Tail stun comes off cooldown, and Cinderin force-ups away to safety. However, back over inside the dire side jungle. Link gets entangled up by Koipa.
Oh my goodness, come on.
Is
he gonna get another one? He's gonna get another one. Watch this. He's definitely gonna get another. Actually, he might not even need another one.
Oh, he just gotta burn him down, but Link's got Shadowblade in 1 second time. So this bear just gotta stick with him. Link has gotta try and juke it around, and he just keels over. Middle lane, Cinderin's being dived under the tier 4 towers now. Ice Wall does not matter. It's 13-4. What, Bulba? That's not a hook out. Looks like at least Bounty Hunter picked up way too sexy, but now TP, look at the Venom ulti, TC, range, he got it! The stun for the Dragon Tail, and Unicorn will die. He leaves one last track over on Koipa. Well, 14-5 now on the board. Bulba goes up to, oh wait, Fiend's Grip on Bear. Commitment. Brain Sap it. But Koipa's going to resummon, and they'll pick up Roshan now.
You know, Toby, I like to consider myself as one of those people who don't really say it's over. But it's over, bro.
Wait, hang on. There was a song for this. There was a song for this. I don't know if people remember, like, the night... yeah,
I know what it is, actually.
I'm going to play it in the break. Okay, what song do you think it is?
It's We Taking Over by DJ Khaled.
No, it's not that.
What happened?
It technically is considered to be R&B though.
As in you've actually heard that song before?
Well, of course I've heard the song you just mentioned before.
Oh, we taking over. That's what Liquid's doing right now.
creep
Toby,
at
on
a time.
Bumble right now? That's what's going on right now. They're listening to battle music right now because they're rap battling.
Bulba,
They're
trouble.
listening to Khaled.
TC though, he's right on top of Synderen already with the stun. He's got Breathe Fire available, but he's not going to use it. One hit to get rid of both those Force Spirits that belong to Synderen.
Synderen was so busy microing his hero that his Force Spirits kind of stood there going, alright, what are we doing?
I don't know. I don't know. Can we nightmare somebody? No, we can't. No, that's done by the Bane.
Yeah, man. It's just they're creating space for Synderen because see what happened was TC decided to not pursue out the Invoker for the Forge Spirits and got himself a nice hefty sum of gold, but didn't get the prize.
Unicorn's doing more damage to himself. They're trying to pick off this bear as it's just controlling the creep wave. It gets pulled up towards top lane now. In fact, the recall's not going to be used. It's looking for a first hit entangle on Rise. Not going to get it. And Rise, he nukes down the bear. 300 gold. Worth it.
Rise strikes back. What's enough though?
Man, I've got to find this song. I got to find this song.
I already told you what it was, man.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I think I found it. I think I found it. I can't play it until the end of the broadcast, or else it goes like copyright stuff during the middle of the recording. Can't be uploaded to YouTube ever then.
Don't worry, I approve. It's okay. You have my stamp of approval, Toby.
Wonderful. Wonderful. All right, top lane. Liquid's gonna bring it down. There goes your tier 2 tower.
Dire's top tower
At least the bottom tier 1 tower went down. That's the first tower that Mousesports managed to claim this game. It levels the gold at 12,000 advantage in favor of Liquid. Experience, however, is only 4,000. I say only 4,000. It might get a little bit more now. There's a Daedalus also now completed up on a DK.
Oh gosh.
Who has...
That's a 20-minute Shadow Blade. I've actually never seen that before. Most DKs opt for the Shadow, opt for the BKB after. I guess when you're snowballing this hard, you're kind of just like whatever, anything you get is gonna help. But Daedalus, Shadow Blade, this DK is gonna crit for like 400 or 500 AOE damage. And with the Radiance Burn, that's enough to kill all of Mouz, I think. So Mousesports, they're gonna have to be careful at this point, if it's gonna help at all. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Rise is coming in with a smoke, and he's... Oh dear, he's got phase boots on Chen. Toby, do you think this is viable?
No. But I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, though, because it's probably the only way to get yourself away from a Venomancer slow.
Oh, goodness.
In we go, Link. He gets the oldie off and flop and stuff, so Venomancer slow will not be appearing in this fight. At the same time, TC focuses on crit. The Daedalus goes to work. Already managed to get one pickup. Now over towards Link. He gets entangled. He gets dropped down by the telekinesis. And Synderen, well, he just had something stolen by Way 2, and it was Cold Snap. This will be applied over towards Unicorn, who's getting galled up by Fluffersup, who actually managed to survive through the ultimate of Doombringer. And now over towards Synderen. Bulba, he's got Timber Chain, and he just goes straight through him, invis or not.
I don't think he's done, Toby. I don't think he's done. You know what? This Chen and Bane,
like
your phase boots is not gonna...
Maybe like a dinner. Maybe like a dinner. Bulba, how much life have you got? He's nightmared. He's enfeebled. Whatever else is left that Crit could be throwing out just then is gone. He used everything.
That was just to annoy him right there.
And he's done.
How interesting. He went from 6 Bloodstone charges to 12. That's double, if my math is correct, Toby. That is impressive. Quite the stellar plays coming out of our Timbersaw player, who has now picked up the Mystic Staff, and they're imposing on the enemy's territory, and Koipa is just dancing with his bear, letting him know what's up.
Fluff, you are by yourself and 2 Invis heroes. You were never. Like, that was overconfidence. Now it's overconfidence.
Creating space for his team to push mid lane.
Oh, what? And creating space for Bulba to now come. Holy Hannah! Doombringer had life. He had a life. He had a family. He had children. It was all taken away by Bulba. Koipa's fighting the mid lane. He recalls the bear in and gets the entangle. Even at the 4-star, the entangle damage is what killed off the Bane. And Liquid are just mowing over this middle lane.
And finally the Doom comes out, but is it going to be enough against 16 Bloodstone charges? I think not. As a matter of fact, Link is the one that's in danger, and he goes down.
Okay. We're kind of in that position again. Middle tower is taking a fall, and now TC. Dragon Form definitely blast pushes him back a little bit, but DK, now he can use the 1 charges, and into the stun. That bear is still alive of Koipa. It's going to reset. They just call the GG. Rightly so. This game is good, it's golden, and it is over. It all belongs to Liquid. 26-7. They go 2-0 in their D2CL game.
You see how those events unfolded, Toby, right? You see how Fluff and Stuff went to the bottom lane, took the attention of 3 heroes.
You were trying to justify a better feed.
Walk into the opposition territory and take over the base and just surface out of the woodwork and completely dismantle the enemy. And this is what's happening right now. Crit, dead. And that's why I gotta say, Toby, Fluff and Stuff, they call him the Worm.
Intentional feed?
Got baited.
The Worm, he's meant to make apples taste bad.
Oh gosh, no man, it's the Worm, you know, it's the bait, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Successful bait and another successful game for Liquid, man. This time, similar draft, but a more convincing victory. So Mousesports tried at it for round 2. Did not go successfully. I gotta say a lot of it to the laning phase, as well as that 7-minute rotation that could have gone so much better for them. But at the same time, TC just getting monstrously big at the mid lane, and he definitely is the MVP of this game. Just the way he took over the mid lane, was able to transition around the map with the Shadow Blade and just secure more kills and more towers to his name with no contest. Even when they try to gank him up with 3 heroes, they just couldn't take him down because why? DK very good against right clicks, 15 armor, pretty strong. So nice pickup by Liquid, nice lane control, and in the end, a nice game for them.
Yeah, well, we're going to have ourselves a break. I don't know how long it's going to be, guys. The next game is officially scheduled to start in just in an hour and 30 minutes. That is Sigma going up against virtus.pro. They might be starting earlier. It seems like VP got demolished in the T2L. So with their recent roster changes, we'll talk about that more coming into the next game. But that is going to be our next game coming up. VP going up against Sigma or Quantic. That'll be coming up next, so stay tuned. We'll be back after this break.